Hey, Main Streeters, we have a big surprise for you today. As most of you know, I am a huge fan of the cult classic Hocus Pocus. And in our midst for you today is two of my favorites from the movie, which would be Jay and Ice, which actually are Larry and Tobias. And we are so excited to have you guys with us. I can't thank you enough.
Glad to be here. Yeah, it's so nice to be here with y'all.
So I know this has to be a busy time of year for you guys, right? With all the Hocus Pocus fun going on.
It's crazy. It doesn't stop.
There's
Hocus Pocus
so
just
much.
keeps coming back year after year.
It's definitely a busy time of year.
Yeah.
And it's fun to. It gives us a chance to get together. You know, everybody's so busy here in LA, and our lives are all separate. But it's really fun to come together because we did this when we were kids, and it reminds us of our youth and how ridiculous we still are as far as
growing up is optional, isn't that what they say at Disney, right?
yeah.
So,
But a lot going on, and I mean, just to give you an idea, you know, in Los Angeles every year, and there seem to be more of these rooftop screenings. You know, a lot of the theaters here in town will do like red carpet events, and of course, there's the whole cosplay and what people, the detail in these costumes, phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. And then, you know, of course, now we're seeing multi-generational participation. So it's a trip. I mean, you know, you don't get a chance to be a part of something like Hocus Pocus that often. I mean, certainly, you know, everyone we've talked to in the film, nobody has had anything like Hocus Pocus. So it's exciting, and it comes around every Halloween. So, yeah, I think we both really enjoy it.
I think that you guys are like part of family traditions, I think, at this point, because, you know, the movie came out in 1993. And I know I was one of one of those who actually went to the movies to see it and loved it from the very beginning.
Do you remember what month that was? Which was kind of interesting as well.
July, I want to say.
Oh, she nailed it. We were both wrong. We were like
August,
June and August. We fought over that, and then we're like, okay, it's July. Yeah, kind of. It's the melding of the two of us. Yeah.
Okay, well, see, I told you I was a bit of a Hocus Pocus aficionado. It's my favorite. And actually, it's funny because people tease me about it, like, oh, it's Hocus Pocus season, Michelle. I'm like, it is. But, so.
I think I've seen the shirt that says Hocus Pocus first. Kind of like the coffee.
Yeah. I actually have a Hocus Pocus dress on for the occasion as well.
Awesome.
'Tis the season, right?
Yeah.
So
I used the word ice in the back of my head.
I was going to ask you, do you have that?
We'll have to just wait and see.
Wait and see. Okay, so I have just a couple of questions for you guys. You know, and I want to say, too, that I love the movie as a whole, but for some reason, you guys always stuck out to me as, like, one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like, as far as the characters, you guys are great. I mean, it's just really good comic relief, and you play off each other so well.
I don't know about that.
I think you do.
No, you know what? We have way too much fun, and, you know, tell them the story about how we ended up booking the job. We went in for the second audition together.
Oh, I will. This was the callback audition. I was a kid growing up in Santa Barbara. This was my first film audition, Hocus Pocus. But I go in and they stick me in the room with this guy. And, you know, you're just trying to get it. I've never really been in an audition, so I don't know what you're going to deal with being in a, you know, chemistry read with somebody.
Yeah.
And the casting director leaves the room, I think, to go speak to Kenny Ortega, the director. And I look over, and this guy is doing a headstand. And he's spinning. I think he's very excited that we're doing. He's like, and I don't know who this guy is, but I think from that moment on, I really liked him. Yeah.
It kind of felt like this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're in for a ride.
But we cut her off, you know. She's in the middle of saying something, and then
my bad.
Okay,
no, please. I'm a talker. Feel free to cut me off if you need to. It's totally fine.
Bring this over. Look at this. My lovely wife. We got to do more podcasts. She's bringing us coffee.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful. Thank
like
you.
we
baby.
need any more energy.
Yeah, maybe we'll wait till we earn it.
It's all right.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, so being that you said that this was, you were so young when you did this movie, what was it like working on set on something so elaborate with people that have already been established in the movie business? Was that nerve-wracking for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little intimidated by Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker.
For
and
different
Kathy.
reasons.
Yeah, I had
You
a
had quite
big
the crush on Sarah Jessica Parker.
I mean,
Sarah Jessica
Well, she was
Parker.
kind of into me, so.
He said her poking him. Because she
We're
poked him with the
close.
stick
We're
that out,
tight.
and he thought it meant something. I was like, look, we're up in a cage. She's supposed to do that.
But there was some intimidation. You don't know how to act. It was my first big film, and so like big celebrities you've seen, your whole life, and you're there with them, right? Next to you.
But here's the flip side. All of the kids really got along.
Oh.
We were in Salem first, in a hotel. We all had our own room, so it was a huge party. And Kenny encouraged us to play around so much. I mean, that's a part of how we found these characters. There were a couple of things we were able to bring Kenny, like the moment where we double up on when Max says he's from LA and we give the kind of dumb look and he has to say Los Angeles. And we're like, oh, dude. So playing with some of this stuff, Kenny really knows how to get it out of kids. And then the best part is once we got back to LA, and the incredible set, the stage that they did on the Walt Disney lot was phenomenal, and one of the greatest ambitious sets of the time, with the actual water wheel. And the great thing is I was 15 when we started, and we figured out halfway through the shoot that my mother, who had been coming to set with me, could sign over guardianship to Larry because he was 18. So that's when things got real fun.
We were on our own.
And we got double per diem. He would come to my hotel at Universal Sheraton. And that's a film unto itself.
Yeah. I had a camera, and before the cell phone cameras, it was just I always grew up. I loved doing videos. Like a Canon A1 digital, I think it was. But we were literally filming like everything. And in fact, I have some footage of when we were watching the witches do their stuff in between our stuff. I had my camera out and I was just filming them, and Bette caught the camera and was like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "Look, I'm dead. Dead man. And so I pulled the camera down. They're like, "You can't do that," and she was okay, but she said no filming, and I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. It's like, but we have all this footage.
But then the other footage, like Thora Birch hacky sacking with all of us, and you remember our posse when we smashed the pumpkins? There's all these surf behind us. So all of us doing hacky sack, and there's to see this footage last year. It was really the first time he dug it out of his storage, and then we digitized it. Nobody's really seen it.
Cool.
And
maybe
it's incredible.
We'll give you a sneak peek.
And then Kenny Ortega directing some of the scenes. We could get you some of that, right?
Oh my gosh.
Very cool.
Us
and
just in the hotel room messing with running around into the rooms, and we're just like
Sean Murray pre NCIS and all that. I mean, it's fun. Really fun. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So going back to this, yes, there was, there's the fact of it being something big and new, but I mean, I think so much of it comes back to Kenny Ortega, who,
sorry.
Anytime I start talking, this is
break.
Anytime we say Kenny Ortega, that's his moment. We've heard of Hocus Pocus drinking games. Yeah, he just passed in front of their lens. But Kenny Ortega is phenomenal with kids, really and that's the thing. Kenny really knew how to bring everyone together, and he deserves so much credit for. And you could feel it last year as well when we did the 25th anniversary. Mm-hmm. He brought everyone together, and we had so much fun. He's the sweetest
guy, and he's so fun.
He's brilliant,
and he allowed us to play and really brought it out of us.
Great coffee, baby.
Hey, yeah. Good stuff.
Awesome. She makes the best coffee.
You know, I was going to ask you about Kenny Ortega because this past summer I got to do an interview with Boo Boo Stewart from The Descendants. And he had also had the most wonderful things to say about Kenny Ortega. And on how, like, with the kids on their set, it was the same. Like, he kind of embraced them and, you know, kind of keep your childhood at the center of everything and still have a good time with what you're doing. So it sounds like that tradition that he has with the people that work with him is continued. So
He's kept all those relationships.
Think of High School Musical. What did he do before the first?
Newsies.
Newsies?
Mm-hmm.
Classics,
Yeah.
you know, that's the kind of stuff he, you know, all the stuff he works, a lot of it turns to gold.
Yeah, he's making...
And it's the slow rise. I mean, that's the thing with Hocus Pocus. Granted, it came out in July, and there were people like yourself who saw and appreciated it, but it took years, and it does stand the test of time. I mean, look, so much of the humor is these great little nuggets that speak to adult audiences.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the hub, all right, may take me a few tries.
Yes!
Some of this stuff is just like, what? But how about a virgin?
Are you really a virgin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, truthfully, I didn't catch some of those jokes in the beginning.
Oh, we weren't supposed to.
I mean, you didn't catch them until you got older, and then you was kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah, I had a girl that I worked with. She's an actress now, but when she found out I was in Hocus Pocus, she was like, this is a true story. She says, you know, that's like my favorite movie, but it also is in some ways like the worst movie, and only because that's how her parents had to give her the Birds and the Bee talk. She said, what's this black candle thing? And they're like, well, it might be a good time.
Well, honey, let's pause this. Hold on 1 second.
Can you imagine?
Honey? Yeah.
I mean, that changed your world.
That's great.
I mean, you know, bringing up conversation.
We've had so much fun with fans over this. We did a convention this year. I think the highlight, Horror Hound. We're doing another one in Atlanta, actually, in February with Doug Jones, Billy the Butcher.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But we had one couple come up to us, and they had a little onesie where it's like, what was it like about children?
I Smell
Children. And she had to sign it, but this was her way of announcing to her family and friends that they were having a baby. It's like, so cool to be a part of moments like that. And also with fans, you know, it's the stories of people that came down from Michigan and all over, drove all night to come because the film has been a part of their life for decades at this point. So
we've
very special.
An older gentleman. You know, we got a lot of stories about these great people, but who was basically like, he just came up. He was alone there, older man, and he said, "This I used to watch this. You know, this was me and my son's movies. And we just loved it. So thanks for being a part of our lives." Type of thing.
Yeah.
So and it's generations, like 3 generations. Now, it seems.
Yeah.
It is true. I mean, it's so funny. I'm so glad that you said that, because I actually did have that, because I'm, you know, a sappy girl and I say sappy things sometimes. And I think that it is, it is though, because like for me and for so many people I know, you guys are part of something that we get to share together every year. You know, when I was still technically a teenager, and then when my kids were old enough, you know, I mean, actually, now I don't take that back. They watched from the time I was watching with me, and they never asked about that virgin thing, now that you mention it, which I guess is good. But, you know, we've watched it every year together. It's kind of like when I was a kid, how we would watch The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown every year, like with our families.
It was like Goonies.
Oh, Goonies, yes. So it's one of those things that I think has taken on that type of a thing, just like Great Pumpkin or Goonies or anything that brings you that nostalgia and traditions, I guess you could say. So I think that's awesome. And what's it like for you guys to be part of something that means so much to so many people?
It feels special, you know. I mean, I'm so grateful that, you know, that we just happen to get to be in a movie that became something that was like legacy, and we can, you know, share with our families, and also the friendships that were developed. Like, I can't imagine Tobias not being a part of my life. You know, it would have been a different childhood, and we've been able to spend time over the years as adults and with families and children, and it's pretty special.
Yeah, these last couple years, a synergy has kind of come up, and we think it has a lot to do with social media and the way we find our communities online now. One of the things that's been an unexpected treat is a lot of fans will reach out on Instagram, either send messages or, you know, tag us in photos, and you get to see how many people are using Hocus Pocus as a source of inspiration for their Halloween experience. So that's a highlight. You know, it's like the thing too, like with this generational kind of continuity. You know, we have 2 boys, and our oldest is 5.5. We haven't introduced him to Hocus Pocus yet, and it's like, when are we getting? My whole thing is, I don't want him to want to be a bully. I don't know how far, but it's so fascinating, to get to share it with family, and then also like this year, you know, we got to see Vanessa, Shaw, and Omri again, and you know, we're talking about getting together for a barbecue, and that would never happen, you know, without Hocus Pocus, and the return and the fact, and that's all because of the fans. That's, you know, I think, you know, you really get to see why people have to appreciate fans so much. It's like
it was also it was thrilling to. What makes it a lot of fun for us too is we have each other to enjoy and share stories, and because we kind of came as a duo, right? And so that's been a lot of fun that we have each other, because a lot of times you do things and you're on your own and it's just you and the world.
I probably have a photo of us on set with Kenny, like right here in my garage.
Oh yeah, grab it. So, but being able to, like, where were we going with this? You were asking about what was my thought there?
About being part of people's traditions for all these years.
Oh yeah, it's just when we were at the Freeform event, like I lost my train of thought when you left. You can't do
just
that.
Left, I know.
Kenny Ortega.
So I told you we had to do it together. Yeah.
So now that I'm back, this feng shui is correct. When we were there with Omri and Vanessa, they were out filming us while the show was going on with the audience, and we were just sneaking up on people and watching them not just see one of us, but then realize all of us were right there.
We brought Omri with us. At first we brought Omri, came out with us, and then Vanessa joined. It was insane.
It was really cool.
It was
just to
very
feel that
special,
synergy, and I guess for them that's fun to see all those people.
Yeah, well,
together.
for people who came out to celebrate the film and then, you know, went out in the audience, and it was just a chance to, you know, there's a real full circle reunion aspect, I think, for the fans as well, where they grew up watching it, and then a chance for us to talk about it together, and then some people had posters and whatnot, so it was very cool.
It is really cool, and it makes me really happy as a fan of the film to see that you guys, you know, you do love your fans and you do embrace, you know, this path that you've taken, and what an opportunity, and the longevity of it all. It's awesome. It's just awesome. So I have to ask you, even now, do you still get recognized as Jay and Ice here and there when you're walking around, or people don't get it right away?
I think now that this last few years we've done the Freeform event, and the bigger fans are watching, so they know what we look like now.
Yeah. And
there's other people that have just followed our careers along the way. But I think we both look different enough to you know, where we were 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and you know, 27 years later.
Not all those years. We didn't film that long.
It was 15. We were stuck in the cages until last 2 years ago. But yeah, it's once it's recognized, then it's people freak out because they generally know right away, and they can't believe it.
I had fun ones this year. This year I went to The Cure. Amazing show. You're
a fan of The Cure?
Oh my God. Yeah. One of the best concerts I've been to. He is just, Robert is, he's I was just everyone was spellbound.
I've seen them like 5 times in concert, and I like most people don't.
I wish. Yeah.
Yeah.
As often as
you're my people. Anyway, go ahead.
But they actually recognized Tobias. He's off stage was like, wait a minute.
He's like, dude.
Yeah. No, but the fans there, and so it was really cool to be at a show like that, and then we're sharing in this Hocus Pocus experience, and this girl was trying to convince her brother to go as Jay and Ice, and so we did a video there, and she sent it to him, and he was like, oh my God, no! So that became... That's what they're doing this Halloween. But it's cool. So things like that will happen. And then
when I go out, a lot of times, a few times I've just straight up said, "You ever see the movie Hocus Pocus?"
He'll use this.
But that's just when I want to hit on a younger girl. Anyway, that's my calling card. But I do when I go out with my brother, who was a kid, and he was in. Like when we were doing that, I think he was in the scene with the pumpkin, like Kenny threw him in there. And so he'll just straight up walk up to a group of people. Hey, my brother over there, he was in Hocus Pocus. And then it's like the little chatter. Next thing I know, I'm taking pictures in the corner, and we've got free drinks. And anyway, it's pretty fun. I don't.
He doesn't pay rent or mortgage. Someone gave him a house. Everyone in his life is a Hocus Pocus fan. Sought out, hard won. Yeah.
All he has to do is walk in and say, "Do you know who I am?" And then it just all happens, right?
I guess I will say this last few years I have been more recognized because I keep the word "I" shaped in the back.
Well, that helps. That helps.
If they don't recognize me from front, I just turn around. They're like, "Oh,
yeah,
oh." And it probably.
I was going to say, and I'm everywhere. One of the things I was joking with Tobias, I'm like, man, it's like, I didn't realize my character was like such a phenomenon. I mean, look, every gas station has ICE written.
And tonight at the Laugh Factory.
I'm sitting down right now.
And if they're not 100% sure, you can throw out words like tubular and, just give them that little...
Hollywood.
Right.
Or I'll just
Hollywood. Yeah. Oh my God, this is like the best. I told you.
He did actually, as a joke last year, I did have the word "I" shaved in my head. And I woke up and he had shaven an L in front of the eyes.
Just tell him to stop. Let's move on.
It never really happened. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing though, I don't know if you noticed when we were talking about, about the movie being timeless. I keep saying that, and what I mean by that is, how sometimes like we can watch movies from like the 80s or say 70s, and it looks dated. Like for this movie, to me, in my perspective, and like seeing my kids watch it and everything, it doesn't look dated. It still looks relevant. Like, kids today wouldn't think that that's an older movie because it just still seems like it's new. Does that make sense?
And more than that, the style is emulated in some of the new new content we're seeing today. That's interesting.
So maybe it's the nostalgia.
It's informing.
Factor.
Yeah.
But we did a panel with Doug when we were at that last convention in Indiana. And he brought up some really cool thoughts about that. He said, for example, like the Ford Explorer, that's kind of one of those things that it's not a specific era. It's like you've kind of seen all this stuff. Maybe the costumes, like I know our costumes.
Oh, you mean he's talking about when they're driving the kids and the witches are coming at the window and Max is like, yeah.
But that's a good point. Well said.
And I think there's a couple of things because, like I said, I've seen the movie probably more than my share. And like how, like when you're bully scene, like you're asking Max for a cigarette, or Master's talking about the smoking section. Now, kids these days, there are no like restaurants like smoking section or non-smoking section. You know what I mean? Just little differences like that. But other than that, I know for me, even though I was a teenager when I saw the movie, it made me want to find a neighborhood just like that to go trick-or-treating in, with the hay bales and the all the kids running around. And Salem is still on my bucket list of places to go at Halloween time, just because I want to go. I want to go. And my friend is like a tour guide there, and he keeps saying, if you come, I will take you to like Hocus Pocus, everything. I just have to make a point to do it. So
you know what we'll do? We'll coordinate it. We'll be in the graveyard. And we'll pop up.
Perfect. What? Yes. And then you can harass me a little bit just because I guess I could give you my shoes. I mean, just for old time's sake.
Yeah. Cross trainers for you.
Okay, good.
We did that last year with E News. We reenacted that scene, put wigs on
in the graveyard,
and that was pretty fun because we actually did rehearse it again, and we were trying to mimic some of the stuff, but it just brought back a lot of great memories.
Yeah, I am so happy for you guys that you still have such joy about this project and that you're happy about the joy that you have brought to other people because of it. I mean, I think that's wonderful. You're very humble. You're very, appreciative. And us as fans, we appreciate you for being part of our Halloween every year. I mean,
it's all you. It's contagious. The joy is that's the thing. The excitement everyone has around this
feels great.
We all feel it, and it's contagious. It's it all belongs to the fans, and it's funny because I really feel there were years I didn't tell anyone I was in Hocus Pocus, and it really was these past 3 or 4 years where just seeing how much everyone appreciates it and how it's been a part of people's lives for so long now. It's just fun. It's fun. It's fun to talk to. I mean, it's so great to have the opportunity to talk to you
and meet new people and hear their stories. And
that's really the highlight, I think, are these stories and like the memories people have. Like you were saying, even the way it influences your idea of Halloween and where you to go trick or treating. That's phenomenal. That's that's a cultural legacy right there.
It is. And when I got to do what my friend gave me a cross country walking tour, showed me where the houses were and such. I'm sitting at my computer all excited because I'm like, I so want to go there, just because I would be that obnoxious Hocus Pocus fan to be quoting the movie and I'd be that person. But I don't care because it's part of my Disney experience, so to speak, as far as it's my favorite. It's like it's my favorite.
Like people send us Instagram photos. That's what they'll do, the tours and then tag us.
Yeah.
And they'll even put them. It's interesting to see how much
they're literally watching there with the kids laughing at the scenes and tag us. And it's great. It's great. It's amazing that we get to share that with social media now. It's and that's really, like Tobias said, one of the big reasons why these movies become like a people's choice thing, and people talking about it. I think it was a couple of years ago on Twitter, just hit when around Halloween, it was the most talked about thing. We're like, what?
Yeah.
It kind of blows our minds.
Yeah,
because people still love you. They still love you after all these years. It's amazing.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Last year, right after we did the 25th anniversary, we went up to my hometown, which isn't far from here, Santa Barbara, and it was really cool. We went and visited a high school class and talked to them about anti-bullying, and it was a real full circle moment. The man who was teaching the class, he was actually the director of the play I had been in when a Disney Scout came, and it led to the audition for Hocus Pocus. But it was so cool just getting to see that and spend time with these high school. They were all theater students, and getting to see how the film had been a part of their lives, and then also getting to talk about anti-bullying with them was a special conversation.
And what they shared, it opened up some conversation that even the teacher didn't know about some of the things, and maybe was able
very
to
personal.
help do some healing there for everybody. But yeah, we're kind of like these iconic bullies, but like bullying really wasn't, we didn't talk about it back then, or nobody was really standing up for that stuff. So it's good that we have this platform to maybe help some people that are fans and say, don't be us. You'll end up in a cage.
Well, no, it's a conversation. Yeah.
You want to end up in a cage being poked by witches? Don't do what we did. So, one more Hocus Pocus topic I wanted to just touch on. So last week we had Hocus Pocus in the news again because Disney Plus is getting ready to launch their streaming service.
It happening? Are we going to have a Hocus Pocus 2?
I want one.
Wait a minute. Did you get a script?
It's in the mail. They're coming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get lost?
Well, I could just show you mine.
Okay. We'll see. Who would you be? What's your character like? 25, 26. It'll be like 27 years later.
So these guys have to have their own kids, and their kids are getting bullied. By the witches. That's where I think we come
like Larry, couldn't you work at the school, like be the gym teacher or something maybe?
That could work too.
Yeah.
You could be a bus driver.
Yeah, you could be the new bus driver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or real estate. I think I'd be in real estate. Yeah.
So, I put out this article about Disney Plus possibly doing a Hocus Pocus 2, and the comment section on Facebook blew up. Everybody had an opinion about it. Now you have your diehards that are saying that, oh, you can't touch a classic, and then you have others that are saying, well, you can, but you have to do it right.
Do it better.
Yeah.
How you do it, if you dare. Yeah.
Because I think when it's something that means so much to so many people, they do have to be careful how they do it, because you don't want it to be something that's a disappointment to the fans, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's hard to when you start getting back in on that stuff. I have mixed emotions about it. I would hope that Kenny Ortega is the director again, though, because he's just proven himself over and over to make classics.
That's the one thing. If Kenny was directing it, that I think would be the one way. Potentially you could use a new cast. I think what I see with most fans is you have to include the original cast.
Yeah.
You can't have new witches.
But my thought also was maybe these Kenny's other the other cast now, the kids that he's directing, the descendants and some of these, maybe that's the next
ticket,
because there's a lot of talent for sure.
It's tricky territory. Yeah,
it is tricky, because when I had saw it, when I put the information out, I was like, well, if they do it right, then yeah, I'd be all for it. But see here, not that Disney really cares what I say, but see, you guys need to be a part of it. Just saying. Just saying.
We're with you.
We'll take
From
it.
your lips to here. Yeah. Oh,
yes.
That's so much fun. That's the thing is we did this year. I don't know if you saw the special, but we got to do this little improv sketch scene with
Ross.
Doug Jones, with Vanessa Shaw, with Omri Katz.
Yep.
And it was so fun. We had so much fun just riffing with each other and goofing off. And it was just like that, back to when we were filming. And in that sense, it was like a reunion. It was dropped right back into that kind of play. So if there was an opportunity for that, I think everybody would be on board.
And I know as myself and my fellow diehard fans, we'd be all for it to be there to support you, because that was awesome. So, you guys are awesome. I know I use awesome a lot.
Plus, I'd be able to go out with a bang. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then before we let you guys go, I know I've kept you a very long time. I kind of wanted to talk about what you guys are doing now and what you would like our readers, viewers to know about what's going on.
Very cool. Go, buddy.
I've been. I continue to act out as well. I've done guest stars and recurrings on other more current shows like 911 and Ray Donovan, and I'm in the process of. It's not final, but there's some stuff coming up, but I can talk about that later. But I also play music. That's been a big part of my life.
Awesome musician.
Thank you. And it's kind of country music. I mean, I'm from California here, but I'm a singer-songwriter. And
you put out you have new album?
I kind of just put together a compilation album of all of the songs that are kind of the more popular ones, the Bagby essentials, we'll say. Because greatest hits just sounds like.
Okay.
But, these are the essentials.
Phenomenal songwriter and musician.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I've got planning a tour and doing that. So trying to just kind of juggle it all, but it's so fun. It's still so entertaining and challenging.
Yeah. I'm very excited about a Marvel show. I still can't say which one, but it's next. We've shot it. It'll be next year. I'll put all that up on Instagram, but really fun. This week was just on The Rookie, which is a really cool new ABC show. It's been a fun year. It was just NCIS New Orleans a little bit earlier this year, Magnum PI, and
you can't miss them. You just turn the TV on. And
usually bad. I'm trying to get out of the bad guys.
Like some of these classic Halloween commercial things. I don't know.
Have you seen any of the Spectrum Monster commercials?
You're the mummy.
We
have so much fun with these.
And I was like, he had told me, oh yeah.
We keep making them. People love these, so we keep. They're a really fun group.
Yeah. We have Spectrum here in Orlando, so yes, we see your commercials, and they actually are very entertaining. So
surprise, we have a lot of fun with those.
You have it must be a theme for us, like bullies and Halloween.
Jeez, yeah.
It comes full circle, I mean.
Well, we'll put everything up. What's fun is, again, as we were talking about, just even with Hocus Pocus, I think Instagram has kind of become the epicenter for both of us in terms of interacting with fans and hearing what they enjoy, and it's wonderful. So yeah, please, Instagram is a great way to dialogue and also see what people enjoy, and the inspiration comes so much from fans and having that dialogue for sure.
So make sure you guys, whoever's out there listening, find us on Facebook.
Your Facebook?
I mean, yeah, Facebook. No, I'm MySpace.
Oh, I was gonna say he upgraded.
What are we talking about?
I heard he was on MySpace.
No, but Instagram is what I meant to say. And his is Tobias Jelinek, of course. You can find it, and mine's Larry Bagby.
And I'll be sure to tag you as well.
Oh, so. We've done some cool stuff together too, some videos and stuff.
He's the only one who pronounces my last name correctly.
I know. No, I don't know. I know. Yeah. I was thinking that. I'm like, have I been saying it wrong the whole time? Is that what else? It's like Bagby.
Well, you guys are so awesome.
Website too, which is just myname.com, or like my tour dates and other things, and all my social media links.
Okay, perfect. And I'll make sure that we link everything as well when we put the video up, so that my readers can find you. So thank you guys so very much for taking time to talk with us. The Main Street Mouse has a ton of Hocus Pocus fans, so I know that you've made a lot of people very happy, myself included. And I wish you guys all the success in the world, because you're really, really great, and I really appreciate your time.
We love you back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, you're the reason that we get to do this, and it means so much to us too. It really does. So thank you to all you fans.
Thank you, guys.
Our friends, we should say.
Adios.